Hey guys, PepperAmmy here. Today we are taking a better look at preserved lemons and a simple chicken recipe to use them with. Now to start, you will of course need the preserved lemons. To make these, all you need is salt and lemons and of course time, as in the reality of time, as this will take a few weeks to make. Now, preferably you want to use organic lemons as we are after the skin and not the pulp, as the pulp can become super salty and will become super salty, but you can still chop it up and add it in stews in place of salt for a citrus twist. Start by cutting the top and bottom off your lemons and almost cutting into quarters, keeping some of the peel connected at the bottom. This is to keep them together whilst preserving. Once cut, it's time to salt. Now you really don't need to measure your salt, but if you want to, I found 70 grams or a quarter cup works really well for 6 large lemons. Simply open the lemons and salt between the quarters and place in a clean sterilized jar. If you still have some salt left over at the end, you can just sprinkle it over the top. Once all of your lemons are in the jar, you want to use a muddler or a similar kitchen device to release the juice from the lemons, and you are aiming to get all the lemons under the juice. If this doesn't happen, you can either add some more fresh lemon juice or dilute it with a small amount of water. You don't want to dilute this too much. Then once you have enough liquid in the jar, you want to weigh your lemons down with a glass weight, or if you don't have a glass weight, a sandwich bag full of water will do as well. Then loosely place a lid on the jar so the gases can escape. Now if you have an airlock lid for a mason jar, you can of course use that as well. Then you want to set this somewhere warmish but not too hot for 3 to 5 weeks. As time goes, the juice will clarify a bit and the skin on the lemons will lighten slightly. Once done, the lemon skin will be almost smooth with a slightly translucent look to them, almost like candied peel but a lot softer. Once ready to use, remove from the jar, slice, dice and even turn into a paste and add to a wide range of dishes, even dips like guac or hummus. But once again, you want to just try and get the skin and not the pulp inside. Now personally, I chose to add mine to some chicken thighs cooked in my cast iron Dutch oven along with a couple of new potatoes. Now I have covered the basics of this dish before, so just a quick recap with some slight modifications will do. Now I start by melting a knob of butter in a skillet over high heat and add the chicken breast skin side down. This gets a nice crisp brown skin on your chicken. Then once browned, flip over and cook for a few more minutes to render some extra juices. Now whilst your chicken is browning, have some new potatoes, place in the deep side of your Dutch oven and season with salt and pepper. Once your chicken has browned, place it on top of the potatoes. With the juices left in your skillet, add the sliced or diced peel of half to a whole preserved lemon and saute for a few minutes. Pour over your chicken and potatoes and place over the lid and bake at 200 degrees or 400 Fahrenheit for 30 to 40 minutes. As this cooks, the potatoes will cook in the lemony juices and any fat rendering from the chicken will also coat the potatoes. Now once ready to serve, remove the chicken and the potatoes from the Dutch oven. Now you can of course just cook this in a deep baking pan too, but if you have any juices left in the pan, you can either serve it as just a simple sauce or you can whisk in some flour and make a sweet lemony gravy that really does actually work really well. I wasn't expecting a lemony gravy to work. And then simply serve. Now that wraps up this week's episodes. If you missed it, I've made my first YouTube short and it has its own playlist on the channel. That is just basically a very quick version of the preserved lemons video. But anyway, if you like what you saw, let me know down below with a like and a comment. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe for free weekly cooking content and I will see you all again next week. Thanks for watching.